Right, so the offender has been restrung. But as you can probably hear, I've tuned it up. That's not too bad, but if I try and play a bar chord, up here for example, if that's coming through, there's a lot of fret buzz. Some notes won't even play. Play down there. And then once I get to the 12th fret and pass, they play, but in the middle they will not play. So I don't know what's going on there because I've straightened the neck, so the neck should be straight. I don't know if there's not enough relief in the neck now, or whether it's just a case of adjusting the string height. So I'm going to adjust the string height, or the action as it's known, and then we'll try from there. I think I'll probably need to lower these pickups as well, because the action on this is insane at the minute. I mean, that you can hear that's definitely buzzing, isn't it? And there's like hardly any space between the bottom of the string and the top of the fret there. It'd be nice to get it set up to play like this. It's so comfortable with me. But yeah, let's do the intonation. Not the intonation, let's do the string height, the action. And then we'll do the intonation as well, and we'll see where we are from there. Hopefully it plays alright then. So, on to the next section. Once again, it's time for the most excellent and awesome graphics. This time it concerns fretboard radius. Your fretboard, I don't know if you've ever noticed, is not flat. It has a camber on it, or a radius, if you like. Which is a bend, basically. It's got a bit of a hump to it. The old Stratocasters, 1950s, 1960s, had 7.5, which would be quite a pronounced camber. They flattened out to about 9.5. I don't know if that's the 80s or 90s or whatever, but the more recent ones have 9.5. The vintage have 7.5. Gibsons have about 12-inch radius, which is flatter. Now, if you imagine if you carried this on as a circle, this would be a smaller circle because it would have a smaller radius. This is flatter, so it would be a larger circle, larger radius, and this would be a very big circle, hence the much larger radius. I did measure mine using one of these things. These are very cheap. My best guess was that it was a 12-inch radius, which is more of a Gibson radius than a Stratocaster one, but my guitar is not a proper Stratocaster, so it could well be that. Either way, that means our strings sort of need to follow whatever camber we've got going on, whatever radius we've got. The way I think I'm going to do this is get these two, the D and the G strings, about the same height. Then get this to a point where I can bend it and it doesn't choke out. That means it doesn't stop playing. Sometimes when you bend a string, if it isn't adjusted properly, it can choke out. The fret be too high and it stops the string vibrating. Then I'm going to do that one. That should be in between those two. Then we'll do these two. So that's how I'm going to do it. Okay. Right, now I've got the capo on and the first fret. Okay, so let's do this again. So this is on. So this is loose. So we need to tighten it back up to full tension to get a proper reading. Let's get the tuner out. Actually, no, that's wrong. We don't need the capo on. That's for when we do the intonation. Ignore me. What do we do? I don't know. Well, let's pick this up. playing the wrong bloody string. Still that 10th fret that it's hitting. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so I'm just going to measure the height of that. There's different theories as what sort of action you need. You obviously want to get it as low as possible. The simple answer. You measure it at the 12th fret, between the top of the fret, top edge of the fret, and the lower edge of the string. I've got one of these. So, right, okay, so it gives you, I think this is thousandths of an inch. So it's 10 thousandths, 20 thousandths, 30 thousandths, 30 thousandths of an inch long here. These ones are milliliters. Millimeters. So that's 0.25, that's half a millimeter. 0.75, that's 1 millimeter. Now I think at the 12th fret you will want about between 1.5 millimeters and 2 milliliters. I keep saying milliliters. Millimeters. There is a handy guide just here. Oh, where are we? Yeah, electric guitar, you see. 6 strings should be 1.5 to 2 mil. If you're working in thousandths of an inch, that's 59 thousandth or 79 thousandth of an inch. First string should be about 1 to 1.5 mil. So, yeah, between 1.5 and I think probably about 1.5 mil or something like that, a bit lower on the D string would probably be pretty good. I'm just going to keep at this camera angle at the minute and measure this, and then I will cut to a better angle when I do the G string. Top fret. Well, that is pretty much spot on. Milliliter, I think. Bloody millimeter. Just trying to decide whether it's better to put my glasses on or off. Yeah, 175 is too high. 12th fret. That's pretty low. I've got that at I think that's about 1 millimeter. It's between 1 millimeter and 0.75 of a millimeter. That's pretty good. That's pretty low. Yeah, it's about 30th, 0.03, about 30th of a thousandth of an inch. That's pretty good. I can maintain that across the rest of the neck. That's going to be a good action. Right, okay, I'm going to cut to another angle now so you can see the saddles going up and down here. Okay. Okay, now it's switched to camera angles. All dynamic stuff. So we're going to do the G string now. I want this about the same height as the D string. So we'll do that. Let's see how it sounds. I'm going to go left. So see, as you turn that, it raises that saddle. Okay, then do the other side as well. So that's about the same height, isn't it? Okay. So that's about the same height. Go a bit higher actually, isn't it? That's about the same height, isn't it? Sorry about all the dust and stuff on my bridge. I did give it a clean, but there's much you can do. I will be changing this bridge, put a proper fender one in hopefully, and I'll put a proper fender tremolo block in as well, with any luck anyway. That's about right. So you only have to adjust it a little bit and it moves. But that. So this one needs to come up so it's flat. And get it in the flipping hole. There we go. Another bit of fluff. This is great, isn't it? Okay, let's just get that tuned up and so it works. Okay. Perfect. That's alright, that. Right, just double check that D string now, we've got that. I think I'll be happy if that D string was slightly higher actually. Okay, so I'm going to knock about and get this, make sure this D string's perfectly as I want it. Then I'll come back. Right, I've got the E string. That's not buzzing out there at all, is it? What's a bit on the 12th string, I think? I think that's alright. I think that's okay. If I have any problems with it, I can always make it a little bit higher. Okay, so now you can see this is this is set. So we need to get this one in between that one and that one. Okay, so I've got the G string set up now. And what you're sort of aiming for is the same distance between this one and this one. This one, okay. So the same level of depth there. The level of depth there, you're looking for the same amount there. Okay, so this gap between this one and this one should be about the same as the gap between this one and this one. And it pretty much is, I think, which is cool. So onto the two high strings. I think I'm going to do the low E first and then the A. I'll just do those and I'll show you the setup afterwards. Okay, so this is what I've ended up with. It sort of follows the camber. These are definitely lower than the middle two. These are just slightly lower than the middle two. I've measured them out. The 6 string is 1.25. Actually, the A string, the D string and the G string all 1.25 millimeters, which is well within the acceptable range. I think I'm getting a slight bit of fret buzz on the E string in some positions. Also have to remember that I've got to raise these again, raise the pickups again, so that might affect it. But there's a nice fall away there, and this is the second string is 7.75 millimeters, and the first string is 0.5 of a millimeter, which is really good. So that's a lot better action than I had before. I know that much. It plays a lot easier. That with the sanded down neck as well, it's like a brand new guitar basically. It's excellent. It's definitely worth your while doing this, I think. Definitely worth buying all the expensive products you got to buy to get it to this stage. The last thing we've got to do is intonation. The intonation on this isn't too bad actually. There's screws behind here, and you screw them forwards or backwards, and it moves the saddles forwards or backwards. The way you measure your intonation is quite simple. Let's see, change. Where are we? Let's go. Okay, let's go to the 12th fret. Let's see if we can make sure we don't fall over. Okay, so you play the open string, see if that's in tune. Right, so that's open E, that says E on my tuner on my phone. Then you play the harmonic. That says that's a D too high, so that's too low on the harmonic. Just play it at the fret, yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. Right, so we need to adjust the intonation screws at the back, okay? So that's how you do it. Open string, then harmonic on the 12th string. To play a harmonic, you don't actually press the string down. Just have your finger above the 12th fret, hold it there, just gently, and you get that harmonic, okay? So I'm going to go back to around here. Where's it going? That's right. Okay, so we need to be. Can't remember where it was now. That's too low, so we need it higher. So if I go left anti-clockwise, that's pulling the saddle this way. See what that does. So again, it's not fucking doing anything. Right, I'm at a complete loss on this bit. No, that's no good either. Oh, that's too high. Right, let me do a bit of research on this. Let's have a look. I'll go back to it. Well, I've just checked. If the note is flat at the 12th fret, then we move the saddle forward. But what I haven't been doing is tuning the other strings once I've moved this, because it can affect it apparently. So that's what I need to do. So let's get this into. E. Right, that's an E now. That's it, that's better. Right, okay, I'm just going to do, this is it basically. Right, okay, so if it's flat when you play it at the 12th string, move your saddle forward. If it's sharp at the 12th string, move it back. And then that is it basically, it should all be set up. So I'm going to do all this and then I'm going to check for any fret buzz again after that, and then I'll get back to you. Hi, me again. I just wanted to clear something up on that intonation section of the video, because I don't think I made it very clear. What I was trying to do is get the same note when I played the open string as I did when I fretted the string at the 12th fret, or even better if you can get it when you do the harmonic at the 12th fret. I was using a tuner on my phone which wasn't particularly good. I think I'm going to redo that when I've got a bit more money, and I'll buy one of those tuners that you can clip on the end of the guitar. I think that'll probably be more accurate. But in the end, I had to redo some of the low E string and the low A string. I had to readjust the height because I was still getting some fret buzz. But I managed to get, the final figures are on the E string, I managed to get it at 1.5mm. The A string as well, 1.5, which is pretty good. And then D and G are both 1.25. The B string I got to 0.5 of a millimetre, and the E string I got down to 0.25 of a millimetre, which I thought was pretty good. The E string, I was having trouble with the intonation with the low E string, that is. And I was mucking about with it. It didn't seem to make a lot of difference whether I moved the saddle backwards or forwards. But in the end I moved it right back, and that seemed to give me a bit more ability to lower the action on it. I don't know why that is. So it was at 1.75. When I moved the saddle back on the lower E string, I could get the string down to about 1.5mm. So I'm going to have to do a bit of research and see why that is, but yeah. Okay, so right, so my SD card ran out there. All I'm going to have to say though really is that if you're thinking of doing this, I think it's definitely worth it. It's made it a lot more easy to play. Like I said before, taking the gloss off the back of the neck was one of the major ones actually, out of all of them. Makes it so much easier to play. As you can see, I haven't got any fret buzz. Sounds really good. The intonation's pretty good. So yeah, I'd definitely recommend having a go at it. This is my first YouTube video, as you can probably tell, by the brilliant editing. My next one is going to be a guitar tutorial. I think it's I Want to Be Adored by the Stone Roses. So I'm going to do that, and I'll get this plug into the amp and crank it up. So yeah, okay, I'll see you in the next video. And remember, perseverance pays off, but at what price?